Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to Marvelous Videos, where today we are looking into the unconventional superhero Toxie. First introduced to the world in 1984, Toxie was the star of The Toxic Avenger, directed by Lloyd Kaufman. Toxie was so popular that he spawned the creation of an entire franchise around him that also includes a comic book called The New Adventures of the Toxic Avenger, released in July 2000, written by Brian McNulty and Joe Paradise. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The origins of the Toxic Avenger. Tromaville is a fictional place in New Jersey, and it is called the radiation capital of America. This is where our hero, Melvin Junko, was born. Melvin was a dweeb and was an easy target of all the bullies in Tromaville. He worked in the Tromaville Health Club, mopping the floors clean. One day, his bullies decided to take it up a notch and asked the girl to seduce him. The girl batted her pretty eyelashes and convinced him to wear a pink tutu. As the girl fake complimented Melvin, he saw the bullies laughing it off behind the lockers and realized that he was the butt of the joke. He immediately started to run away to escape and fell out of the second floor window. As luck would have it, he landed in the vat of toxic waste kept right below the window. Melvin got up and ran home, but the chemicals were radioactive and he began to mutate even before he got home. The mutations made him super ugly, but also incredibly strong. He developed tromatins, which detected evil and compelled him to punish the villains of the world. A new evil brews. Toxie goes on a rampage defeating all evil, and once he is convinced that there is no more evil in Tromaville, he gets employed to work as a janitor in the local high school. The peace is short-lived, as Toxie begins experiencing some anger issues and he seeks the help of Dr. Sharon, a well-intentioned science teacher and innovator who suggests a mock fight between the two to gauge his anger. That he begins to shove Dr. Sharon's head down the toilet and stuff his mouth with toilet paper. Dr. Sharon spits out the toilet paper with great difficulty and reminds Toxie that they are mock fighting. Toxie snaps out of it and apologizes to Dr. Sharon, claiming that he never had such a short temper ever since he cleared out all the evils and his tromatins calmed down. Well, clearly they are back riling him up again, and Dr. Sharon has the perfect way to find out for sure. A tromatonic activity probe that goes inside Toxie's anus and figures out if his anger issues are due to the tromatins. Though the probe is uncomfortable to say the least, the good doctor convinces him to endure it, as it is a small price to pay for the well-being of mankind. The test results are pretty conclusive, as they reveal that the tromatins are active because they sense evil lurking close by. Melvin finds Dr. Sharon's hypothesis hard to believe, as nothing ever happens in New Jersey. Then on his way home, he sees a young girl enjoying her lollipop when a car hurtles towards her. He dives to rescue her, but in the scuffle, she drops her lollipop. Melvin tells her that superheroes don't rescue lollipops and continues on his way. Unknown to him, a wizard from across the space searches the stars to find a gateway to Earth and tells his master, Lord Bulzen, that the corruption of a young innocent mind required to open the portal has already begun. Melvin hopes that the car incident was the warning the tromatins were trying to give him and opens the door to his house and accidentally dislodges the doorknob with his unbridled strength, thus convincing him that the evil is yet to pass. His blind girlfriend Sarah welcomes him home, but is cross when she hears him speak about evil again. You see, Sarah thinks that Dr. Sharon is crazy and just an excuse for Toxie to put off starting a family with her. As their argument rages on, another argument begins on the faraway dimension of Yensid. The wizard we saw earlier tells his master, who we only see as a face on a buffalo's anus, that they need some subtle approach to break through Earth's barrier. He suggests seeking the help of Medina, the lizard, a wily witch, but Lord Bulzen does not like that idea one bit and raises his army of the dead to strike the barrier. As the barrier remains unbothered, he finally decides to free Medina from her imprisonment to help him reach Earth. As if waiting for that cue, the wizard brings Medina in front of them with rays projecting from his eyes. There is definitely some history between Medina and Bulzen, as she begins cussing him out as soon as she lays her eyes on him. His skeletal slave holds her still as the master promises to free her from the horrors of the pit if she helps him. Medina gets more compliant hearing that and tells him that the center of the barrier is the Toxic Avenger, but they can be let in if an innocent mind is corrupted by him. This corruption comes in the form of Curly, the same girl he saved from the car, who decides to steal a lollipop as she lost her previous one. As the barrier shatters, Lord Bulzen frees Medina and invites her to a party to celebrate their victory, but Medina just wants to get as far away from him as possible. shattered barrier, and incoming villains. The change on Earth is immediate, and people begin to thieve, rob, and murder. The Traumatans, sensitive to the change, begin to hurt Toxie. He abruptly leaves the argument with his lover, his only explanation being that he must fight evil, and barges out of the wall of their house. Lord Bolzan sends his messenger of pain, a gigantic 50-foot-tall, four-breasted woman named Rack, to lay Tromaville to waste. The death count rises to horrible numbers as she kills anyone she sees. As the people begin to panic, a new superhero arrives, calling himself the Infectious Defender. If you're wondering what superpower he has, don't bother. He just had a really bad case of the clap and is trying to cash in on his 15 seconds of fame. Just as Rack gets closer, the Infectious Defender's hand falls off and he decides to use it as a club. It is complete bedlam at Tromaville, as journalists decide to desert the town in fear for their lives. In the meanwhile, Rack places the Infectious Defender between her breasts because sometimes the male gaze is all that matters. We finally see our superhero face Rack, but it only lasts seconds as she grinds him into the ground with her foot. Sarah, who watches the news and realizes the threat, finds Toxie, helps him get out of the hole, and hands him his broom. She tells him that the Infectious Defender is the same guy who stood her up at prom, Ed. Toxie demands Rack to release Ed, and she throws the handless wannabe onto the toxic Avenger. Toxie tries to tell Ed about Sarah, but when he makes lewd remarks about her, he lands a punch on his chin. As the two heroes fight amongst themselves and decides to destroy the school to get their attention. Even then, the heroes remain engrossed in their personal feud till Curly rushes at both of them. Toxie eventually disregards her, telling her that he can't fix her lollipop, but she angrily tells him that her daddy had died from being stepped on by Rack. When her pleas fall on deaf ears, she kicks the Infectious Defender and punches Toxie. This intervention makes them realize that bigger things are at stake, and they decide to join forces to defeat Rack. The Infectious Defender distracts Rack while Toxie gets on her back. He uses his broom to tighten the bra strap till her breasts explode and she collapses, dead. Not how bra straps or breasts work, but it's best not to question anything as it opens up a whole new can of worms. Meanwhile, Lord Bolzan heads to a bar with his wizard and tries his moves on the women of Earth. So, will Bolzan succeed in his nefarious goals? Read the comic series to find out. Marvelous verdict. For a silly yet entertaining time, The New Adventures of the Toxic Avenger is a good choice, but remember to lock away all the logic and reason in some distant part of your brain while reading. If not, you will suffer. Let us know what you thought about the first issue and if we should cover any other comic issues in the comments below. If you liked the video, please tap on that thumbs up. We'll soon return with another awesome video, but till then, take care, live, laugh, love, and goodbye.